Hi friends, welcome to our weekly live chat here on my Jen Loves Reviews YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We do have a special guest this week that I am so excited to invite on. Bailey Sarian is in the house today. If you are not
Thank
familiar
you.
with Bailey, Bailey has a fabulous beauty channel here on YouTube. She has a series that has exploded her YouTube channel called Murder, Mystery, and Makeup and completely just knocked her channel into a whole nother dimension. So she's got that, and then she also does lots of tutorials and things like that. Insanely talented at makeup. She's taught me quite a few tricks, and she's absolutely amazing person and absolutely hilarious. So I welcome Bailey to the chat. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
So
Thank you
what
so much for having me.
Absolutely. I'm very thankful that you decided to come on. So, before we get started, I do want to say hello very quickly to the people that are here live in our collective brain of makeup awesomeness that are hanging out with us. Debbie Green is in the house, and as always, Hungry for Butts is here. Thank you so much for being
Hungry
here.
for
You would think that Hungry for Butts is like a spam person that's going to be mean or not. Totally the nicest person. Totally the nicest person. Rhonda, hello. Callie is here, and Anastasia Trout and oh, hold on, I'm butchering it. Anise, I can't do it. I lost it. But I hope that you've traveled recently and that you're doing well in Florida. Debbie says, I love Jen's collab with Bailey last summer, so I'm excited for this today. I'm excited that you're here. Sean is here. Tab and the rest of the Wrench Wenches are in the house, making sure we have a nice, peaceful chat today. I see Flory Sparks is in the house. Thank you, Flory, for being here. Ast and Becky. And everybody else that is here, hello to you as well. So, I did ask on my Twitter and also on YouTube community. I asked what questions you had for Bailey, since I know a lot of the people that are subscribed to my channel are also subscribed to Bailey's channel. So, I asked to see what you all were interested in. And I'm going to see if I can see this and the live chat, and I can. Yay. Okay. We're in good shape. So a lot of the questions, Bailey, people have for you have to do with your series, Murder, Mystery, and Makeup. And I'm going to try to like mumble over the first M word to see if we can not get this video demonetized. But if it gets demonetized, I don't care. We'll just go with it. So most of the questions have to do with that. And I think the biggest thing people want to know about that series is, number one, like, how did you come up with the idea to mix true crime and makeup? Like, where did that come from?
So I just love true crime. Well, I don't love true crime. I have an interest in true crime, and at that time I was heavily invested in the Chris Watts case. I was following it from the beginning, and I would stay up until like 3 or 4 in the morning just reading everything about it and just trying, like, I'm gonna solve it is what I was thinking. And I just had all this knowledge from the case building up inside, and I had nobody to talk to about it because I don't have any like friends or family who are interested or obsessed like I am. So I was like, I'm just going to make a video and just let it all out, and maybe somebody will watch it. Like, it was just on a whim. I didn't even think any, like, it was going to turn into a whole series. And I just did my makeup at the same time because I truly felt uncomfortable just staring at the camera and talking. So I was like, I'll just keep myself busy by doing makeup, and then it will somehow still be related to my channel because I do makeup, obviously. So yeah, it was completely on a whim. I just wanted to talk about it. Okay, I was like, the whole thing is suspicious. The girlfriend, I think she's involved. I need to put this out there, and I
Right.
want to get other people's opinion. So that's where it really came from. But I really, like, I never checked to see like if anybody else was doing it. I never claimed that I was the first person to do it. And yeah, so I don't want to take that role,
Right.
because I'm pretty sure, like, I'm sure there's videos out there that other people have done it.
Well, there's definitely been
That makes
other
sense.
true crime channels. Like I've been watching Kendall Rae since she was a beauty channel back a long time ago, you know, when she had like 20,000
Yeah.
subscribers, and now she's well over a million. I don't know where she's at, but there's definitely been other true crime channels. But I don't think that I saw anybody doing true crime and makeup before you. But I've noticed that since you started doing it, there's been quite a few other channels that are now doing murder, mystery, makeup kinds of things. Just got demonetized just now. We just let it go from this point. Um, but I've seen some other channels, like when you see, like, now that you have this and you've been doing really, really well with it, and you see other channels doing a makeup and true crime combo, does that bother you? Like, oh man, they bit off my stuff. Like, how do you feel about that?
So at first, of course, it was a bummer at first. Hear me out. Because when you are on YouTube, your whole goal is to come up with like original content, right? Like that's the goal. Because everything has been done out there. And what's going to make you stand out in this sea of creators? So, when I first started like gaining momentum, it was like, okay, I think I found that thing. Like this is working, you know, like I was really excited about it. And then when somebody bigger or somebody else comes up and does the same thing, it's a bummer because you're like, wait, at least let me like grow some from this first and then come and snatch it from me. Or, you know, like just let me
Right.
have this for a minute and then come in and do it too. It's
Right.
completely selfish, you know, completely. But now, like that was at the beginning. Now I don't care. Like if you want to do it, you know, like who gives a shit at this point? We are there's so many of us out there who are interested in true crime, and we also like makeup, so cool. I'd
Right.
say though, like just don't steal word for word another like true crime person's video.
Like where
Make it
you did
your
all the
own and add your
research and they just took your
Mhm.
research and just spit it out on, yeah.
Exactly, like word for word. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Get your own story and then add your own personality as well. So yeah, I fully like do it if you want,
Right.
but make it your own as well.
Yes. Yes. And I think it's also about crediting too. Like, I think that if you get inspiration from someone, no matter what it is, it's nice to say, hey, I was inspired by this person, you know? And that was actually how I discovered
Mhm.
you, was because I was inspired by one of your eye looks and recreated it, or at least I attempted to. I tried really
Yeah, I
hard.
saw
And
that.
I put a little, pictures up of your look and everything. And I think that that just shows a level of respect to when you're inspired by someone. And of course, if someone's done it before you, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've copied off of them. But if you've truly seen it before, like, I think that's where it comes from, is when someone has purposely taken the idea of someone else knowingly and then not credited them, versus,
Right.
I came up with this even though someone had done it before. Didn't even know they existed, kind of situation.
I think that's a big problem on YouTube. For some odd reason, other creators have a hard time saying that this is inspired by, or this, I got this idea from this person. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's, I don't,
It does seem
yeah.
to happen more than I think that it should, I mean,
hmm
and I don't think it takes away from the person that's doing it. If you were inspired by someone, I don't think it takes away from them doing it, because like you said, they'll add their own spin to it. And no one
hmm
is going to be you, and no one is going to be that person. And as long as they're adding their own spin to it, and they're crediting where they got their inspiration, it's like, why is that such a big deal out in the YouTube space, and in the art space and all kinds of spaces? You know.
Yeah, I think because you just want recognition that
Yeah.
you did it. And again, it's going to gain momentum, hopefully, and then you'll grow. Like on YouTube, everyone's goal is to grow and be able to make this their full time job. So if they're going to steal someone's idea, call it their own, for some reason that makes them look better. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a
Maybe.
game. YouTube is just one big game.
It kind of is, and it's kind of sad that it is, but it really is. It's how you
hmm
play the game, and sometimes people play dirty and then they win because they play dirty. So, but thankfully, we've got Bailey Sarian, who is doing her own darn thing, and one thing that I think people really love about your videos, I know that I love about your videos, is that you can talk about something so serious as someone being harmed and continue to add a level of humor to it. How do you balance how much humor to put into your stories versus it being very serious? Like, how do you know where that level is, where that line is?
Ooh. Well, okay, so the way I cope with anything very serious in my life is by adding humor to it. It's something I've done for a long time. It's just a coping thing, I guess. But as far as like in my videos, I'm still kind of learning, because there have been some times where maybe it was like, okay, that was a little too inappropriate, where it may be funny to me. I have to remember that it's really not funny to everybody. Uh, so I just try my best to not go too far. And yeah, because a lot of people, they think true crime videos have to follow a specific guideline, right? The sad music. You have to look serious at the camera like you're about to cry. Not crying yet, but you're about to. And you have to tell this awful story. And then you have to add all the extra dramatics, like a video clip of the horrific crime or the 911 call and stuff like that. And that's like the outline of how these videos are supposed to go. So when I came in and was adding some humor to it, a lot of people were pissed. A lot of people were upset with me. Still to this day, I get a lot of comments from people telling me that I'm disgusting. And for me, at least personally, and I know there's a lot of people out there like this, we're interested in true crime and we want to hear these stories, but we don't want to leave with that really heavy feeling, of just sadness. And now you're depressed and your day is just kind of like, you're just sad. It messes with your emotions. Like, I want to hear these things, but I don't want it to ruin my whole day. I think we can appreciate the victims and their lives, but you shouldn't have to carry all of that all day if you don't want to,
Right.
And I never ever try to offend like the victims or the victim's family. I never ever try and go after or say anything snarky about them. I will go after the killer though. Like, fuck them. It's free game for me. And like I'll make fun of them all damn day.
Right.
But I'm always here to respect, the victims. And if anybody, the victim's family reached out and said like, hey, that video is really inappropriate, 100%, no questions asked, I would take it down. I'm not out here to do anything bad. I just want to have a conversation and also keep it real. Like, if the killer has a bad haircut, I'm going to say he has a bad haircut.
Right. Right.
What is so bad about that?
Exactly. And I do feel like you're a lot harder. You're real tough on the criminals sometimes, the way that you're like, cornflakes? Who eats cornflakes?
Yeah, like
totally suspicious.
What the hell?
Like...
I know. It's like some of these killers are just so stupid, and we have to talk about it.
Right.
Like, come on.
Absolutely. Well, like Elizabeth is saying, I think Bailey is humorous but respectful, and I completely agree. And I do think that most of the more lighthearted things are having to do with how horrible the criminals are. And I've only ever, at least from my point of view, only ever seen sympathy and care about the victims. When you talk about the victims, I feel like you're very good at showing how much you really care about the situation and how awful it was for these people. And, you can see the compassion in your eyes. And I think that's, me personally, why I feel like your videos do give that levity, but also you do have that compassion in there, and that's just naturally radiating out of you. So I'm not trying to sit here and kiss your butt, but like, that's just the way I feel about it. Like, I feel like you've done like a really good job with that, and really balancing that. And I think that, your audience would probably agree. Of course, they're going to people, no matter what you do, that aren't going to get what you do and understand what you do.
Right. And they come after me, and I never said my channel's for everybody. Like, where does it say you have to watch? I just don't understand that.
And no matter what you do.
Because I'm not following that guideline of how these videos are supposed to go, it's like, people just really don't understand it, and people get upset when it's something they don't understand. So,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
absolutely. And Shanna says, Bailey, your skills paired up with your heart and humor are what an S ton of people love you for. I certainly appreciate
Oh,
and
thank
relate to
you.
the somewhat awkward humor and sassiness. So,
Yeah, thanks. That's so nice. I'm sorry, I got the comments pulled up over here. So if you keep seeing me looking over here, I'm reading the
yes.
comments.
Yes. So another question a lot of people had about your series is how you choose the cases that you put on your show. I'm going to call it a show because it is a show. How do you choose the cases? And then the second part would be like, do you ever find one and you start getting deep in it and you're like, oh, nope, not going to do this one.
Yeah, definitely. So finding the cases, I actually had a Google Doc type of thing where people could submit any stories that they wanted me to talk about. And but for the most part, I have a long list in my noggin of things that I remember that I kind of wanted to go back and read more about it. Sometimes I'll just sit on my computer and Google like lady killer or whatever, and I'll just send me down a rabbit hole until I find somebody that sparks my curiosity. And I don't know, it's really, sometimes I have somebody in mind and sometimes I don't. But I try to find those cases or stories that you don't really hear about too often. Like everybody wants me to talk about Ted Bundy, all like the killers that everyone knows, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about them. They suck.
Mm,
Like, it's been told a million times. What can I add to that? I want to talk about the lesser known ones and like, why didn't we know about this one? I want to talk about those
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And then of course there are some stories where I'm like, I can't do this. There was one recently. It had to do with a guy who went over to Mexico for spring break and then shit went south. And I felt like, with what's going on at the border, this isn't the time to add that story. I don't want to feed into anyone's,
Yeah.
political agenda. So I pulled out of that one. And there's also a bunch of like deeper ones that I believe, like child pedophilia, where a lot of people don't want to
Yeah.
hear about it, but I do think it's an important conversation because it's more common than you think. But also, like, the people involved are bigger, like, wealthy, big people. And I don't want to mess with them, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be put on their radar. You never know
Yeah.
who's watching. Like,
Yeah.
and I believe that if they see somebody who's causing some problems, they'll get rid of you. So
So does that make you
I,
nervous that maybe some of the I was watching one today where there's a person that the one of the accomplices is now out of prison and you said something like,
oh,
don't come after me, I'm just telling the story, don't come after me. Like, does that
yeah.
concern you? Like, do you ever like kind of get freaked out by that?
I mean, I used to, but if someone wants to kill me, then do it. Like, what do I
No.
care?
No, I
like,
care.
like
We
come
all
after
care.
me. No,
No,
I'm saying
no,
like
we are
if you
against that idea. No.
no, I'm saying like
Right.
if it's your time to go, like you'll go. Like
Yeah.
I can't live in fear.
Yeah.
I can't like shut myself off because I'm scared people are coming after me. So
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
if
Just
someone
like,
does want to come after me, I mean they can trust. I can fight. Okay, I think I'd be okay. But I'm just saying like you can't live in fear. Okay,
right.
there's a lot of bad shit in this world. I'm sure if you see the news, it's like it's making it so scary to even just go anywhere and have fun without
Right.
you thinking in the back of your head that something is going to happen. Someone's going to start
Right.
shooting or whatever. And it's like you can't live in fear. Yes,
Right.
we need a lot of change and all that, but you can't live in fear. You have to live your life.
Hmm.
So, it's like I could sit and get all paranoid, or I could just,
Just
it's
live your
fine. I'll
life.
be fine.
Living
Yeah,
your best life.
yeah. I'm just like, I just
Absolutely.
gotta live. Hmm.
On
But I
on
would
a
love.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I would love if that lady from Elephant Butte, if she would come on over and we can have a conversation. Like I would love that. I would
You
love to hear.
wouldn't. You
I mean,
wouldn't.
yeah. I mean, if she showed up, I would be like, oh, hello. Let's talk about it. Because I'm a nosy little bitch. Like, I want to know what happened. Tell
Wow.
me.
So this was a lady that was involved as an accomplice to some really,
Hmm.
really, really bad things. It was the toy box video, if you want to hear that whole story, which was insane, disgusting story. Bailey handled it with grace, but the accomplice is like out of prison now. I can't believe you would like want to be in this. Oh gosh, I can't even.
Yeah.
But I guess
I,
like when you're curious about how people tick,
yeah. I want
it
to,
would be
yeah. I just
interesting.
have so many questions. I'm a very curious cat and I want to know. I mean, I'm not inviting her over, but I'm saying, like, if she was that pissed and she showed up, I would say, hey, let's talk about it. I don't know. I
I mean,
don't know.
yeah, it's like let's sit down and make a video. Let's talk about this. Let's talk it out. It was like when what was it? I forget who it was. I'm not sure if it was Shane Dawes or somebody else, but they invited like their hater over and like had like a
Hmm.
full thing and like talked a
Yeah, I
while.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah, same kind
You
of
just gotta,
situation.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
roll with
exactly.
the flow. Roll. With That's awesome. So,
Hmm.
people have asked a lot about like when you do your delivery of these true crime stories, you seem to have the entire story completely memorized. Like the way you deliver it, it is so like for me it seems absolutely seamless. Like you have got this memorized, you've got it down. Like how do you do that? Like how do you learn these stories so well that you can present them in such a like smooth way and like such a storytelling kind of way rather than just reading off of like Wikipedia or whatever.
Yeah, I was talking with you earlier about this, and there's some days where I got the story down and I could just tell you everything about it because I'm not kidding when I say I'll stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning, just like obsessed. I get obsessed with a story and I'll try and find everything and anything I know about what happened. Can I solve it? I don't know. And there are just some stories that like I can just remember and I'm going with the flow. And then there are other stories where I'm still obsessed with it, but for some odd reason, it's just not coming out as smoothly. And you guys who watch my channel see the edited version, of course, so it looks like I did it no problem. But really, behind the scenes, I spent 5 hours messing up, like mumbling, trying to figure out what am I talking about? Who's that person's name? Where was it? And I just, as soon as I start to second guess myself, I'll watch a video start to go downhill because I start to question, is this right? Am I saying the right thing? And it's normally a hot mess, but you guys see the edited version where things went smoothly. And I just filmed a video yesterday, and when I was editing it, I hated it. I was not feeling it. It wasn't coming out right, and it was just a nightmare. So I just refilmed it right now this morning. It's this look. It'll be up tomorrow. I
Nice.
tried it again, and it went way better. So hopefully, we'll see. I haven't edited it yet, so we'll see how it came out. But I think it went better.
Wow. So
It's trial and error. Some
yeah,
days are easier than others.
absolutely.
Hmm.
And I would imagine the story, some of them just stick in your head better than
Hmm.
others. Yeah.
Definitely.
So how long does your process take? So you've got Monday's video coming and you're starting your research. Like how long does the research process take and then how long does the editing take?
So I normally would, okay, it really depends. So Tuesday is when I'll decide on what I want to talk about for the next week. So I'll spend, let's say, like Tuesday, either trying to find somebody to talk about or find somebody, a story to talk about. And then let's say I can't seem to find a story. I could spend all Tuesday just trying to find the topic because there's so much out there. There are so many crimes, right?
It's
And
so
it's
sad.
like yeah, I know. Why am I laughing? I don't
I know.
understand.
It's like it's so sad. You're never gonna run out of material, Bailey. You're never gonna run out of
Exactly.
material. It's so incredibly sad. And why are we smiling?
I don't know because it's uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
I will just jump around just trying to find where I want to go. And then let's say I find the person finally. Okay, then Wednesday now is all the research. So I'm trying to find reliable sources, watching different interviews. If there's a documentary, I'll watch it, taking notes, typing up a bullet point, everything I can find. Sometimes you can find court documents, which are, I like those because it's more like what happened, it's factual, whereas a lot of like word of mouth or different sources tend to mix things up and it gets confusing. So Wednesday I'll usually create like an actual script or like my bullet point notes. Thursday, if I got it done, then Thursday is when I actually will film, and then Friday I will actually edit. So it's
Wow.
a lengthy process.
That is a
And
process.
mhm, because it's so easy for me to just start researching, and then next thing you know, 4 or 5 hours have passed and you're like, I still haven't even like narrowed it down yet, because you've just gone from story to story to story to story. Or I'll be really invested in somebody's story, but then it just kind of, you hit a wall and there's no more information, no idea what happened, and you know, or I know that it wouldn't be a good video because there's just not enough information out there. I
Yeah.
found nothing. So then I have to start all over again. And it's just
Does that happen
annoying.
often?
Yes. All the time.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
or you learn that a lot of people don't have the facts and they're just kind of guessing and they put it out there. Um,
Mm.
so it's like, what's real, what's not real, and you're trying to find it, and it's kind of a mess. But I did find this girl, Mary. She's been helping me so much with research. So I'll send
Nice.
her, yeah, I'll send her like, hey, this is the person I'm going to talk about next week. And then she'll help me out and create like, um, a document with some bullet points, just kind of giving me the breakdown. And then from there, I'll build on top of it and get any information that maybe isn't making sense and just kind of make it more of where it's a full story versus just the bullet
That is
points.
so cool. How did you meet Mary?
Um, I think it was on Instagram. I think so. She reached out to me. I had posted something like, "Hey, if anyone wants to like help me out like with research and stuff, like I'll pay you. I need help because I
Yeah.
was just like feeling so overwhelmed." And she reached out, and so yeah, she's been helping me. She's done a couple of stories for me, and it's been awesome. I love it.
That's
I'm like, it's the
That's
best. I need help.
fantastic. That's really
Yeah.
wonderful. And like for me and my team, that I have, Tabitha that helps me with the script and everything. So, she volunteered as well, to help me with that stuff. And it can take off the biggest weight, knowing that you're not alone in getting this together, especially when you're on a schedule like Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays, like it's got to be up on Monday. It can't go up on Tuesday,
I
like it
know.
has to be
I hate.
Monday. Like there's
Yeah, and
no.
like what I did right now, with this week's, of course, this is the worst case scenario when I refilm on Sunday, and now it's like I'm probably gonna pull an all nighter editing it,
Mm,
but it's my own fault. I like should have done it earlier in the week, but I hate when I do this. Like this is not where I want to be.
mm.
So any help I can get definitely is the best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, there's one more question I want to ask you that a lot of people are asking about this particular topic, and then we're going to move on to like more YouTube and makeup kinds of stuff. So, they want to know about if you're planning on doing any like paranormal stuff, because you used to have your Bailey Does series. And I remember the one you did where there was a ghost in your house and you had
Yes.
the paranormal investigators coming over and like helping you like decide like if whether friendly ghosts or whatever, like in your house. Like, so I know that you have like an interest in that stuff, but they want to know whether you're planning on incorporating any of the paranormal interests that you have into this particular series.
I want to, but I don't know. Sometimes oh, there's a fire truck going by. Is there a fire? Oh no. Okay, but oh, a whole
Everything
squad of
okay?
fire trucks are showing up.
Oh my gosh, is everything all
Oh,
right?
murder mystery. It's live.
Text Fern and make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to the people across the street. If you watched my Saturday video, it was a hot mess, but I think it's the same people. It's fine. Anyways,
Okay.
so um yes, ghosts and stuff, I love it. It's great. Fantastic. But I don't know how to make it interesting because like there isn't really an image you could show to kind of keep people's
Mm,
interest. It's more of like just listen to me talk about this. It could be fake. It could not be fake. You decide. I don't know. I
gotcha.
don't know. Um, I guess I should just try it and see the feedback. I don't know if anyone has interest in that. I guess I could add video clips, but I really don't like doing that.
Yeah.
But we'll
Or, I
see.
mean,
I mean, we'll
starting
see.
with like a murder mystery makeup kind of thing, but that leaks into the paranormal because now these people have passed and now they're saying that this place is haunted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That
know,
could work.
maybe something like
Mm-hmm.
that, kind of like scoot it that way, that way.
Yeah,
Could be possible.
definitely. I was thinking about adding another day because that's always like
Mm,
the number one question I get. But then I think about how much work goes into my Monday videos, and for them to get demonetized, I just don't want to
yeah,
add more work and research for another video to just get demonetized. And then,
right.
yeah, it's just so I'm kind of
Yeah,
torn on that.
yeah.
And for how much like work I do behind the scenes for a Monday video, it's it's just yeah, I just don't want to
Mm,
completely lock myself in the house,
right.
dedicate all this time creating these videos for me to not make some kind of money back.
Right.
It's not all about money, but at the same time,
You got
you
to eat.
you need to yeah, exactly. I've still got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Like I spent 4 days on like making a script, filming, editing, and to make $0, like that kind of sucks. Like
Yeah. Well, and I did have someone ask, they wanted to know how, knowing that you get demonetized a lot, because if you don't know, my audience might not know, demonetized means when a YouTube channel gets flagged for not being advertiser friendly. And because Bailey talks about a lot of things that advertisers may not want their ads on, she will get demonetized, meaning that YouTube will no longer allow ads to run. Or if they do allow ads to run, Bailey does not make any money unless it gets cleared by YouTube. So, there was somebody that asked if there's a way that
love
people
that.
can support you or what people can do, to be there for you and support you, through getting
Yeah,
demonetized.
I saw that question and it made me feel really bad because it shouldn't be the viewer's problem at all.
Right.
And it's not on them. I think when we talk about demonetization, or at least when I talk about it, it's more of me just venting and kind of like letting people know, hey, I'm going to be doing sponsorships because I'm getting demonetized, and just keeping it honest. Um, I don't want anyone to feel bad, like they need to send me money or anything. Like, no, I don't want that. You watching and commenting, that's enough. Like, that I appreciate that and that helps. As far as the demonetization goes, like, that's between me and YouTube.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm going to
Yeah.
figure it out and
Yeah.
I'll figure something out and we'll see. I also have merch, which if somebody wants to purchase merch, that does help. I get a small percentage of that, and that is awesome. So if you really are like, I want to help, merch is great. Plus, I
Mm.
hope you like the merch and then you just wear it. And now you have a piece of clothing you like.
The merch is
So,
epic. If you've never seen Bailey's merch, like she was kind enough to send me over one of her shirts, and I actually have it. And I'll show you what it looks like. I have it here so you can see. It might be inside out because I wore it and then threw it on my floor because I'm messy like that. And
me too.
but yeah, this is no longer available, but like isn't that like
Isn't it
how cool
cute?
is
I
that?
love that one.
Like so cool. And then I missed out on the Suspish merch. I wanted to get some Suspish merch and I slept on it and I didn't get it and then it sold out. And then you have new merch now. What's the current merch that you have out? What's the theme
There's
of it?
actually nothing up right
Oh,
now.
there's nothing up now.
I'm working on the next round, which I think is going to be like a Get Better Idols launch. So,
Oh,
but
get
I'm
better
trying to
role
figure
models,
out
get
how to
better
make it.
idols.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make it look cool. That's where I'm kind of at right now. But I'll let you guys know when that launches. Um, But yeah, I want my merch to be cool and like stuff people would actually wear and not just like my
Yeah.
name. So that's been important and fun. It's been
Now,
a lot of
Fern
fun.
is a tattoo artist. Does he help you with your art for your merch?
He helped me with the very first launch, which was Too Poor for Couture. He
Okay.
drew up like the rat and the lettering and everything. And then I think he helped me with another one, but a lot of it has been working with the merch company. They have like a design person there. And then a lot of it has just been me as well. So on my, like the Suspicious sweatshirt, um, like I drew the eyes. I took it from my eyes and then I just
Nice.
added like the suspicion, all that.
So you can
Um,
draw?
I mean, it's not very good, but kind of.
Wow. I mean, why am I so
Yeah.
surprised? I mean, I don't know why I'm so surprised, but that's so
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. So that might be the next merch coming. People were asking if you ever thought about doing a Patreon.
I have, but I don't know I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Because I do feel like if I do a Patreon, I owe the people on my Patreon like either an extra video, more content, and can I do that? I'm already struggling. I only
Right.
do 2 videos a week, which from the viewer's perspective, it's like, girl, you only do 2 videos a week. But on me, it's just like I already struggle with those 2 videos. How am
Gotcha.
I going to add another thing? You know, it's
Yeah.
just, I'm not at that place right now where I feel confident enough to be able to give them something back, you know? And I
Gotcha.
don't want
And
people to send me money and then I'm just like, okay, thanks. I'm going to
right.
go
Yeah.
and not give them anything.
Right. And you don't want to say on a
Yeah,
Patreon, you'll get X, Y, and Z and then not be able to follow through.
exactly.
So,
And then you're just another letdown.
right. Yeah.
So it's like I'm not ready. I can't commit to that. And I'm being honest. So
Right.
maybe one day, but right now I can't get to yeah, I'm not at that point yet.
Well, you're one of the good ones, Bailey.
Oh, thank you.
A
I'm a
lot of
little
people
angel.
asking for the Suspicious merch to come back. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so I don't have any control as far as the merch goes. The merch company has complete control as far as when things will come back in stock, if we can get things back in stock, all of that. I know it sucks because everybody asked me for to bring it back, and I'm like, I literally have no control over that.
That's a bummer.
Um, yeah, it is, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get a few stuff back, but I will for sure post it on my Instagram and on my YouTube and let everyone know when it does. But as of right now, I have zero control.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, there are a lot of people that are really obviously enjoying your channel at this point. You know, people have found you and they've fallen in love with your channel. You have a lot of new eyes on you that you didn't have a year ago. So when we did our collab a year ago, you know, you didn't have this level of an audience, and now you've got all these new
Right.
eyes on you. How has that been for you? You know, having hundreds of thousands of people now watching you every single week. Like how has that affected you, and how do you feel about that?
Um, it's been an adjustment. I kind of plateaued for a while. I was at like 116,000 subscribers, and I was at that number for a good minute, and it's a great number. And the comment section was like I recognized everybody who commented. Like I knew them all. They commented on all of my videos, and we kind of had like this little like friendship happening on the internet and interacted with one another. And now that I've grown so much, it's been crazy. And that loss of control of like the comment section is really hard because there are just either people are angry coming at me left and right, or there's people that used to follow me way back in the day and they're like, I feel like you don't notice me anymore and it really hurts my feelings. And it like that hurts because I don't want them to feel like that. Like you just realize it's hard. You can't make everybody happy no matter what you do. And people are going to say really mean things to you and it sucks, but don't let it ruin your good time.
Yeah.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
So the biggest negative is just kind of the loss of a connection with your audience, because now there's just so many comments that the people that were your people are now getting lost and you're not able to connect with them as well.
Exactly. And I like that a lot. Like I like talking with my subscribers and stuff like that. I try and respond to as many people as I can on YouTube. And I could sit there forever responding to every single commenter, but I've learned, I know, after
It's a lot.
3 to 4 hours, I'm like, Bailey, you have to go outside. Like you have to have a life. You need to like go.
Yeah.
So I've learned like to give myself an hour to respond to as many people as I can, and then I have to turn it off. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's that loss of control. You know, I just don't have as much control as I did in the comment section. I want it to be a safe space. I don't want people attacking one another. I don't want
Right.
people spewing hateful words at me, um, because I don't need to see that.
Right.
No. And yeah, so that's been the biggest adjustment for
Okay.
sure.
Now, what has been a positive effect of having more people watching your channel? What do you think has been the most positive thing for you?
Just new, like, I don't, is it relationships, new friends, new people? The amount of support and people who are like me and understand sarcasm and just it's a good little community I've got going on. Like everyone is so nice. We're all supportive of one another, and we all have a good sense of humor. And I like that. Like it's nice.
That's so awesome. Yay, I love that
Yeah.
answer. I love that answer. So people are asking these different questions about old content you used to do, and one of the favorites was when you used to read from your diaries. Do you ever
Oh
plan
yeah.
on reading from your diaries ever again?
If you haven't watched that, it's so funny. I would laugh cry in every single episode. It was hilarious.
Tell them a little bit
I want
about
to
what
do.
that was.
So, I've kept a diary since like sixth grade, and I still have a diary to this day. So, I've documented my life since young preteen Bailey, and I found my eighth grade diary, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film myself reading it because it's gonna be hilarious. And boy, was it hilarious. I was just so over dramatic. I was like creepy. I was obsessed with this guy, and every day just like today he breathed, and it was funny. Like it was hilarious.
Oh,
I had full plans to continue the series, but I still can't find my high school diary. So
oh.
yeah, it sucks. I'm bummed, but if I find it, yeah, for sure, I'm going to continue that. But as of right now, I can't find it, which is scary because who has that? I don't know.
Yeah. I know. It's like where's my private
I
diary
know.
go? Like I want to be the one to
I
release
know.
that information. Like I don't want anybody to find
I
it.
know. I'm like, I don't want
Yeah.
anyone to know how creepy I was. I was
Oh
such a
gosh.
creep. I'm
Oh
like,
man.
yeah, today I watched him from across the hallway, and that
There's
was it. And
worse.
like,
That's not that
yeah,
bad. That's typical
so
teenager
good.
stuff.
Uh-huh. It
That's
was.
that's
Yeah.
so cute. That's so cute. So and again with that, like what about Bailey does? Have you thought about doing that where Bailey used to she would do something new?
Yeah, I loved that series. I was having fun. But Ipsy was actually helping me make those videos. And
Ah.
the people that I brought on were like specialists, like a wine specialist. I forget what you call them. Similar, something with an S. But anyways, the videos were getting really expensive because I also found an editor to edit those videos for me.
Oh.
Um, and yeah, they were just really expensive to make, and I wasn't getting the views on it. So they decided, sorry, we can't like help you with these videos anymore because
Gotcha.
I wasn't really getting the views. But I loved it. I was having fun, and I would like to try it again. Maybe I could. I mean, now that I've grown a little bit, maybe it will be better.
Yeah.
It sucks that it comes down to views. I don't like that either. But at the end of the day, especially if somebody's helping you make the videos, um, and you have people to pay, like an editor and whatnot, it you kind of have to make some money on it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people cost this
Yeah.
crew costs money. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were rich, I wouldn't give two shits and I would just do whatever I wanted to. But, you know,
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And one question that someone submitted that I thought was really good, and I'm just going to read it off my paper. What's some advice the Bailey of today would give to the Bailey when you first started your channel?
Just to be yourself. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was trying to be perfect in everything that I did. I mean, like making sure to say everything perfect and really educate people and do everything perfect and not show a double chin and just do everything perfect. And
Mm,
I finally realized, like, this isn't even who I am. And so I just decided to be myself and show people like, yeah, I have acne. Who cares? Like, yeah, I have a double chin. Nobody cares.
yeah.
Because there's just way too many people on YouTube trying to be perfect, or they seem perfect. And for us normal people out there, we need someone to connect with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And
if
even those
anything,
people that look perfect, they aren't. They just hide it real
oh,
well.
yeah. Mhm.
You
Definitely.
know?
No one's
Yeah,
perfect,
nobody
but there are
is.
some people you watch, like I was watching Carly Bible. She is
Hmm.
so flawless in
She is.
everything. I'm just like, oh man,
And I've
you
seen her in
know?
person. She looks like that in person too. She
Oh my god,
is
she's so
flawless.
stunning. Yes.
Hmm.
Every time I watch her videos, I'm just like, how? How?
Like, how do you even look
You
like
can't
that?
compare. Yeah, you cannot compare because that's how you ruin yourself.
Yeah.
So just be yourself is what I would have told me back then.
Oh, that's awesome. And the other part of their question was, where do you see yourself and your channel in the beauty space in 5 years?
Do you think YouTube's still going to be a thing in 5 years?
Gosh, I hope so. I really like it. I hope so. I hope so. We'll see. But if
Yeah.
let's pretend that we know for a fact it will be around in 5 years. Do you have any idea what you might be doing or what you might want to do? Like, do you have any goals of where you want to take your channel?
I mean, who knows?
Hmm.
I'm sure at some point I'll get burnt out on doing the murder mystery makeup thing and maybe want to like jazz it up a bit, change it up a bit so it's fun again. Um, as I like, I'm not saying that's what's happening right now at all, but in 5 years, who knows? Maybe my interest will change completely and I'm all of a sudden into ceramics. So maybe I'll make a ceramics video or I don't know. Like, I
I
don't
love
know.
that.
I feel like I'm constantly changing. My interests are always changing and I get so obsessed over the weirdest things. And it's like, I could, you could go anywhere if you wanted to, but I don't know. I don't have a plan. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like a good thing because then you can just do whatever you
Yeah,
want when you're not disappointed that your plan didn't work out because, you're just kind of going with the flow.
exactly. Like with
Yeah.
Bailey does, it was just like, hey, I want to do this. Like, let's do it. So, like, on a whim, and it was fun, and I still would like to do it. But yeah, I feel like sometimes you have to go with your gut. Like with Murder Mystery Makeup, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm just going to try it and see. And it's like sometimes something can come from that. Just go, you know? Don't limit
Yeah.
yourself.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Now, there were also a lot of questions, believe it or not, about your hair. Now, kind of going off the YouTube thing and more about like you as a person, like and how gorgeous your hair is, and if you have
My
any
hair?
like your hair, yeah, your hair is beautiful. I well, t-
Like right now it's real rough, but
yeah. Do you have it like any hair tips? Someone wanted to know if you had any hair tips.
okay, one big thing that I've learned, especially with blonde hair, to take lukewarm showers and wash your hair with like kind of cold water. And that has been a game changer. Um, I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate. I used to like to take burning hot showers that were just like melts my skin off. I don't know. It just was like a warm hug that I needed or something. But I've learned that that completely destroys your hair, it destroys your skin, So now I only take like lukewarm showers, and then I'll rinse my hair in like cold water. And that actually has helped a lot with the growth and it staying healthy and the shine. And my skin also isn't so dehydrated, flaky, anything like that. So it's uncomfortable to take a lukewarm shower because you want that hotness, but then you get used to it and it doesn't matter. So
Nice.
that has been like a good tip.
Nice. And now with your makeup, your
Hmm.
makeup skills are incredible, obviously. Awesome. My biggest tip I got from you that I still use every single time I do the makeup is I used to do my eyeshadow where I would do the windshield wipers like this all the way down to the corner. But Bailey taught me to go straight across instead. So, because
Yes.
when I went all the way down, it would bring my eyes downward. And that was like a game changer for me and my application. Like, I haven't done my eyeshadow the same ever since. Like, that's the way I do it
Yeah.
every time now. So, do you have any other like big makeup tips that you feel like are like a game changer that you think that you could share? You feel like is just something that people could do? Like, I don't know. I'm sorry to put you
Um,
on the spot.
I know because I feel like on, especially on YouTube, there it's like all of the tips and tricks have been put out there, you know? But I think the biggest one, which is the hardest one, is to do sheer layers and let it dry like your foundation versus taking that foundation and doing like a thick glob on your face and then blending it out and whatnot. You always end up cakey. You look super cake face. If you do sheer layers and like slowly build it up, you can get full coverage, but it doesn't look like a cakey mess. It sits
Ah.
better. It looks more like your skin, but you're getting better coverage. I think that one for me at least was like a game changer and completely changed how foundation looked on my skin. I mean, right now I look really made up because I caked it on for the video, but like I always look like this actually, so whatever.
So being patient and like letting it dry between layers, not just like foundation, concealer, more foundation and powder and this and that, like within a 5 minute period of time, you got to like chill with it for a minute and like,
Yeah, you gotta
nice.
let it dry like wet nail polish. You do a sheer layer, let it dry, and then you add that other layer, and it looks good. When you glob it on, it doesn't dry, and then when it creases if you touch something. So think of it like that. That sheer layer, let it sit dry, then put on another one, and it just like will last you so much better. You're not getting that weird creasing or
Yeah.
the lines or the settling. So yeah, think of it like that.
Nice. I love that tip. I love
Uh-huh.
that tip. And it's funny because sometimes I'll watch you do your makeup during murder mystery makeup and I'm like, where the heck is she going with this? Like, as far as some of your eye looks. And then by the time it's done, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, I can't, like, so it's like, I don't, like, how in the world do you like put some of these looks like what is your inspiration for these looks? How do you put some of these like she'll like just put red all over her eyes and it'll be red here and there'll be this little teeny tiny space of something else and it's just red everywhere and then she'll like add like silver glitter and it's like oh my gosh, like that just totally
So
just
cute.
blew my mind, you know? And it's like this adds this
Yeah.
whole other layer to the murder mystery makeup thing. So, how do you have like a plan before you go in there? And are you like inspired by anything before you do your eye looks?
No. I just some days I
That is not what
some
I
days
wanted to hear. I wanted to use
I
your
know, I
inspiration for
know. Well,
myself.
this week I was like, I want to do green. So that was my inspiration.
Okay.
So it just depends. I'll pick a color and really go from there. And then sometimes like if I'm really uninspired, I love Pinterest. I don't know if anyone else
Mm.
still uses Pinterest, but I love Pinterest. I'll go on there and be like green eyeshadow and just kind of look for something that catches my eye and then I'll be like, "Ooh, okay, I'm going to try something like this, but maybe add something else." I don't know. I don't plan. I'm really bad at that. I kind of wish I did because I'm sure things would go more smoothly. But I just kind of start going. And I feel like with my makeup in all of my videos, I start off looking a mess. And you're like, wait a minute, what's she doing? And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, what? Like it just works.
It
I don't know,
always
just
comes
know
together, and it always comes together in such an amazing way where my brain is like, I'm like the brain explosion emoji by the
yeah.
end. I'm like, how
I
did
think
this
it
even
kind of
happen?
keeps things more fun. Like people are like, this looks like crap. And then by the end they're like, how'd she do that? And it's just like,
Well, not
I
that it
don't
looked
know.
like
I just,
crap, but it was like, where is she going with this? Like, I'm more puzzled than anything. Because I know, like, if
yeah.
I put red, like, down here on my eyes, I would look like I was bleeding. Like, it would just look
Yeah.
insane on me. And then it's like, I don't know. I just blown away by
Yeah.
it every single time. But
Oh,
always, it's
thanks.
more of confusion rather than that doesn't look good. It's more of like, where is this going? Like, how?
Yeah. Well, the video I
Oh.
uploaded on Saturday is the comment section was funny because everyone was like, I didn't know where you were going with this, but it somehow worked. And I'm like, you just got to know your color wheel and you got to
Mm-hmm.
play a little bit more and like challenge yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
with this look today, I'm wearing like a really deep purple and green eye. If you just say that out loud, it's like, that would look like weird, right? But then once you try it, you see that they complement each other. Like it just works. It just works. You got to challenge yourself a little bit to have some fun.
Well,
Why not?
you also are a pro makeup artist, that you do take clients as a pro makeup artist. So do you feel like that's helped you to do better makeup on yourself, or do you feel like that's like a separate skill, like doing makeup on other people versus doing makeup on yourself?
Doing makeup on other people is completely different than doing makeup on yourself. Doing makeup on yourself, you could obviously like, it's a lot of trial and error, and you learn like what's working, what's not working, what colors you like, what you don't like. I obviously like a cake face and heavy makeup. It's fun to me. But if I'm doing somebody else's makeup, I never approach it unless they say that's what they want. I normally do whatever they're looking for. So yeah, it's complete opposite. Um, but yeah.
So okay, gotcha. This is such an interesting interview. I'm loving getting to know you through this. This has been so much fun. So we only have a few minutes left, but I do want to ask you just a couple of more things because
Yeah.
everybody just wants to learn so much about you. So one of the things that people were asking was specifically about your tattoos, because you do have lots of tattoos, and people want to know
Yeah.
whether they have, like, if there's any of them that are particularly special to you, or any of them that really resonate with you that are extra special.
No. So, I consider myself a tattoo collector or like an
Mm-hmm.
art collector, I have so many tattooers out there that are so talented, and it's amazing the type of work they do, right? So I want to go to these artists and get a piece by them. A lot of them don't have any meaning at all. I just liked it, and I just wanted it. And I wouldn't recommend that for obviously everybody, because it's, you should have a plan if you want to get tattooed. But for the most part, there's no really tattoos have any meaning. It was just kind of like, I want this, I like it, let's do it.
That's awesome.
So
That's the
every
same way my
time
husband is too. So
yeah, yeah, every time somebody asked me for like a tattoo video, um, and like the meaning behind it, I'm like, I like this one. It's cool. I like leopard print when I was 18, so I got it. Like those are my stories.
do
They're
you have a
kind of
favorite
stupid.
tattoo, like one that you just really love?
Yeah, I love my peacock on my leg. Oh, I can't show you. Let me see.
Yes. I
It's a
see it.
peacock.
I see your peacock.
But I
That's so
love that
cool.
one because it's so like vibrant and pretty.
Uh-huh.
And then I have some lips on the back of my calf, which I can't show you at all. I can't even try. But that one's badass. So yeah,
That's
I have a
awesome.
couple that I really like.
Nice. That's so great. Okay,
Mhm.
so I have one more question for you that was a burning question. Is there going to be F and Leonard merch ever?
I feel like that could be a problem because
Oh,
like he did kill people. Do I
yeah.
really want to make a profit off of him?
It's a great point.
No. Like I think it would be hilarious, of course, but at the end of the day, he did kill people.
Right.
So like, I can't be putting that on something and sell it.
Your heart, it's like you have such a good heart. It's like, it's like, oh my gosh, like it's exploding with like awesomeness. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I didn't even, when people are asking that, I was like, oh, that's a good question. And then it's like, oh yeah, like now that you said it, like
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. Well,
Same
thank
with
you.
like when I
Yeah.
see shirts with like Charles Manson and stuff on it, I'm just
Yeah.
like, ugh, get better idols. Get them. Like,
Yes.
come
Yes.
on.
Get
Like,
better idols.
we
Get better idols.
we gotta stop making a profit off of, well, t-shirts and stuff. Okay.
Right.
I know that's definitely debatable because here I am making a profit off of their stories. And same with like Dateline and all of that. But I can't like add merch and wear this shirt and pay
Right.
$30.
Well, I think the difference
Like,
is the celebration of the criminal versus the I don't know what the word is, but the not vilification. I don't know if that's the right word, but like you are not in your videos. You never celebrate the criminal. Like it's all about the family and what they went through, and then this horrible, evil monster of a person. Like it's not like you glorify that they were this idol to be looked up to, and I guess with the merch it would be more of I'm wearing this shirt because I look up to this person, like this is somebody that I want to show off that I am a part, you know what I mean? I see it as being different
yeah,
things. That's my opinion.
yeah, definitely. I could see both sides of it, but yeah, I don't think I could. I'll probably just keep it with my stupid little sayings and whatnot. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I can't do that.
Well, thank you so much, Bailey, for coming on chat. This hour
Yeah,
went by
thanks for
so
having me.
fast, and it was
I
so much
know.
fun to have you on here. Can we do a little sada sa before we go?
Shana, 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 shana.
All right. Thank you, Bailey, for being here. Thank you to everybody that was here in live chat. We will be back next week for another live chat. Just going to be me, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And then maybe we'll have Bailey on again sometime. I would love to have you back on at some
Anytime,
point.
anytime. Thank you so
All right,
much for having
girlfriend.
me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a good rest of your holiday weekend if you're in the US, or a good rest of your weekend. And we will see you in our videos soon. Bailey's channel is linked down below. Mad love. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Make good choices.
Make good choices. Get better idols.
Exactly.